Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a whole review on the new 2020 MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. So if you haven't seen my unboxing video for this laptop, definitely go check it out. It'll be right up here in the iCard. But let's just hop into the video. I'm just going to start off today's video with the basics of my laptop. So I got the 2020 version of the 13-inch MacBook Pro, and it is the one with the touch bar and the M1 chip. I got it in the color Space Gray. I believe the only other color is silver, but I'm not for sure. I will link this laptop and any other things that I can link for you guys in the description down below if you want to go check it out. The original price of this laptop starts at $1,299, but if you buy it from the education store, which is what I did, it starts at $1,199. So if you buy it from the education store, you're basically using an education discount, so it'll start off $100 less than if you bought it from the normal Apple store. And to purchase this laptop, I traded in my old one, and I also bought it from the education store. So the price before tax for me was about $675. I didn't have to pay shipping because I went and picked it up at an Apple store. Now I'm going to talk about some accessories that I got for my laptop. So originally I had bought this pack for my laptop that came with a hard shell cover, a screen protector, and webcam covers. And then in my unboxing video, I got a lot of comments saying that I shouldn't use some of the things because it can damage my computer. So obviously I took that into consideration and I researched all of it. And from my research, I found that I shouldn't be using a webcam cover and a hard shell case, but a screen protector is okay as long as it's clear and the sensor can get through it, which obviously mine is. So the reason why a hard shell or a rubber case isn't the best for the MacBook is because it does add some weight to the laptop. Obviously not that much where it's going to feel way heavier, but it does add weight to the top and the little bottom part. And the hinge on these laptops are designed to hold the amount that is built with it. But if you add more weight to it, then that can wear out the hinges. And then to get that fixed, it is pretty expensive. So that is why I no longer have a case on my laptop. I'll just show you what it looks like. This is just the plain space gray color without any case on it. And then I'm also not using a webcam cover because if you put it on here, obviously you can buy really slim ones and it does shut all the way, but it can damage the sensor and your screen and the overall computer, and I do not want that happening. Plus it is a newer MacBook, so it has more security and protection on it, so that shouldn't be an issue. And from my research, I didn't really find anything that said a screen protector is bad, as long as you have one that's not too thick and it's clear enough so that the sensor can get through, so it can sense if you're near light or if you're near darkness, just so it can adjust your screen and all of that. So I do have a screen protector on mine. You can barely even tell. It is very thin and super clear. So after all that research, I decided to take off the hard shell case and the webcam cover, but I still have a screen protector on it. But to transport my laptop, I do use a little laptop sleeve. So obviously I have to take my laptop to school and to other places. So this is what I use to protect it. It's just this light gray laptop sleeve. There's a little pocket in the front where I keep all of my editing stuff sometimes. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It's very soft and very padded, and also has these little things to put the corner of your laptop in to keep it secure. And nothing has happened to my laptop so far, so I will link this in the description down below for you guys to go buy it. I got it from Amazon and it's the brand Moziso, if that's how you pronounce it. It also has a little carrying handle. This laptop stand that I bought from Amazon, they're really easy to find. I will link this one in the description down below. Those are all the accessories that I'm using currently. So now I'm just going to list some of the new features that come with the new MacBook Pro and the new MacBook Air. Keep in mind, this is not a tech channel and I'm not a tech expert, therefore I do not know everything about this laptop. This is basically just what I know just from my experiences. So as you guys might know, the newest MacBooks, which include the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air, both have the new M1 chip in them, which adds so many new features. One of the features is you are now able to download apps that you couldn't before. So now when you download an app, you can switch over the settings so that you can download iPhone and iPad apps too. You can't download every app, but you can download more than you could before, such as Among Us. But there will be a little tutorial at the end of this video on how to do that. The newest MacBook Air has no fan in it, therefore it is now silent, so you don't need to worry about that weird loud fan sound when you're out in public and using your computer. The new MacBook Pro does have a fan in it, but it is way quieter, and I haven't heard a sound out of it, and I do so much on this laptop, so I think it's pretty much silent, but for other people it may not be. The newest MacBook Pro also has the longest battery life ever in a MacBook so far. So with my old MacBook Air, my battery used to run out so fast when I was editing on Final Cut Pro, But now I can literally use my computer to do anything, and that could be editing, schoolwork, watching YouTube, or watching Netflix for a whole day straight, and I won't have to charge it for the next day or so, which is really amazing. The new MacBook Air also has a long battery life, but not as long as the MacBook Pro. There's also a new key on the keyboards where it's for emojis, so you don't have to do that like Command Control Space shortcut to get to the emojis. There's just one single button. And also the newest MacBooks are just very fast as well. And there are plenty of more features about these MacBooks, and if you want to go look at that, I'll link the Apple website down below, and you guys can do all of the research there. Now I'm just going to touch on some pros and cons that I've noticed so far for this MacBook Pro. I'm also drinking some Starbucks right now. This is definitely off topic, but one drink I would definitely recommend for you guys is a strawberry acai lemonade refresher blended with no berries. It is delicious. Obviously mine is kind of melted now, but I would definitely recommend it. But back to the pros and cons of the new MacBook. Please keep in mind these are my own opinions, and this is on the MacBook Pro, so it might not be the same for the MacBook Air. But some of the pros that I have for the new MacBook Pro, it just has a really long battery life and can handle way bigger projects than my MacBook Air could without it crashing or stuff happening. So obviously I used to have a MacBook Air, and I wanted to switch to the Pro because it had a touch bar, which I thought would be very helpful. And they're also built for more like bigger projects to handle at once. And since I'm a YouTuber, I figured that would help me more with like editing and stuff. But the touch bar is very helpful for like emojis and stuff. And for each like different application, there's different things that pop up on the touch bar. And it doesn't add any space on the keyboard part. It just replaces all the buttons that were there before. And I just love how quiet the MacBook Pro is. The newest MacBook Air is also very quiet, but I just love how quiet it is. With my old MacBook Air, there was a fan in it, and it was so loud to like bring to school or just to edit in my kitchen. Like my mom would be confused on how loud it was. And obviously the newest MacBook Pro does have a fan in it, but I have not heard a sound come out of it, and I've done so many things on it. So that is definitely one thing that I love. Now moving on to a couple cons. I only have two of them because I don't really not like anything about this computer, but some of these things may be a deal breaker for you guys. And the first thing is that it is a little bit thicker than the MacBook Air. Obviously the MacBook Air is called the MacBook Air because it is thin, it's lightweight, and you can bring it anywhere. The MacBook Pro is also very thin, but it is like thicker than the MacBook Air. For the MacBook Air, the bottom and the top are basically the same thickness, which is like really thin. And then for the MacBook Pro, the top is thin, but then the bottom is thicker. I'll bring it up close so you guys can see. So that's how thin the top is, and then that's how thick the bottom is. So that's what it looks like. It is thicker than the MacBook Air, therefore it is a little bit heavier, but I honestly don't mind because it can handle way more things because it is bigger. So if you're looking for a MacBook that will fit with you anywhere, is very lightweight and very thin, I would probably go towards the MacBook Air. But if you like the features on the MacBook Pro, then maybe you want to sacrifice the lightweight and all that. And then the second con that I have for this MacBook Pro is that there's only 3 ports total. There are 2 USB-C ports on this side and then 1 headphone port on this side. Before I had like multiple ports so that I could plug things in, but now you have to buy like a whole adapter with a bunch of different ports into it. It's also a little bit annoying because I used to have a USB plug-in for my old MacBook Air, but this one's USB-C. So whenever I buy like cords and stuff to plug in, I have to make sure that it's USB-C or else it won't plug in. But like I said, these things aren't the biggest issue in the world, and I wouldn't consider them a deal breaker. Now I'm going to answer one question that I've been getting so much lately, and that is, should I get the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air? I've gotten this question so many times in the comments and in my Instagram DMs, and the answer for this question obviously depends on what you prefer to have in a laptop. So if you want a slimmer, lighter, and silent laptop that you can handle pretty good sized projects on and has a pretty good battery life, then the MacBook Air is probably for you. But if you are okay with a slightly thicker and heavier laptop that has a touch bar, fantastic battery life, is pretty much silent and works really fast, then the MacBook Pro is probably for you. So obviously it depends on what you want in your laptop, but obviously it also depends on the price and how much you want to spend on the laptop because they are not the same price. And now finally, I'm just going to do a little tutorial on how to download different apps on your computer and how to play Among Us, because I got so many questions on how to play Among Us on my laptop because it is an Apple laptop and usually you can only play on like Windows or PCs. So I'm going to start screen recording on here and do a little tutorial for you guys on how to play Among Us and download apps. So here's my home screen. I made this all myself and I'm actually pretty proud of it. But what you're going to want to do is go to your app store. I do not have it down here, so I'm just going to Launchpad and then to the App Store. And this is what I see when I open it up. Before I show you guys how to download any app, please remember that in order for this to work, you do need the newest MacBook that has the M1 chip. But what you're going to do is, if you want to download Among Us or any app, just search the name of it, and then you can see here that it doesn't show up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to switch from Mac apps to iPhone and iPad apps, and then you can see that it is here. here, and there's other ones as well. It is free, so you're just going to click get. Obviously I already downloaded it, and then once you download it, it should be somewhere down here or in your launch pad. So mine is right here, and to play it, obviously just click it. It'll start to open up and you can just play like normal. And obviously if you want the game to be bigger, just click this green thing and it'll take up your whole screen. So now you can just play and do whatever you want. But yeah, that is it for my whole review on the new MacBook Pro. If you guys want a what's on my MacBook video or any other MacBook videos, definitely comment them down below. But yeah, I would totally recommend you get this computer if you want to. And that is it for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell down below to be notified whenever I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!